Hello, my name is Mae Whittick, spiritual life coach, and welcome to Her Inspirations. I'm starting a new series this week, and this new series is all about creativity. This first episode is You, the Creative, and the Creation. And over the next few weeks, I'll be exploring creativity, and as you journey with me, I hope you will uncover new possibilities within your own creativity and also recognize how it converges with and reveals your spirituality. Once we recognize ourselves as the artist of our lives, every action, word, and moment becomes profound. And as always, I'm inviting you to join the mailing list to this podcast for additional notes. And this is especially for you to go deeper on your own personal development. And also I'll be including additional resources for you as well. And some other ways that I can support you as well is if you're someone who's always wanted to be heard in the world, and whether that's you launching your own podcast, showing up online in your business, public speaking, or just speaking up in your life. I've created Your Awakened Voice for you, and this is my course which uses my holistic approach that acknowledges the intricate connection between your physical body, your mind and spirit. And this course empowers you to discover and develop your voice. And also you may choose to work with me on a one-to-one basis, and this is especially for you conscious creators. If you know there's a purpose to your life, my purpose is to support you confidently, follow your intuition and create your big vision. All of the links are in the show notes. So week 1, You, the Creative and the Creation. From Pablo Picasso. Every child is an artist. The problem is staying an artist when you grow up. The most common response when I talk about creativity is that people will say, oh, I'm not creative, because to them, creativity is only expressed through what we may call the arts, things like music, dance, painting, sculpting, architecture, singing, and so on. And while they are obvious outlets for creativity, we are creating our lives constantly, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And most artists do want to be credited for their work. Especially when we think of people who are successful, we're always asking about the secrets of their success. How did they do what they did? People will write books, give talks, start programs to show how they started from the bottom and they got there, the rags to riches stories. We all want to know this, especially when we desire better for ourselves. So in that, we're seeing that we're at one point and we want to try and create and transform within ourselves. Transformation is creativity. As youth, we talk about making our mark on the world. And if you think about it, what is more creative than seeing the world and your life as a blank canvas and then wanting to make your mark on it? So the question is then, why do so few people honour their original desires? Why do they put them aside and then start to conform to a set pattern of shoulds when we are all original and the world is always transformed and moved forward by innovation? If we want a better world, we need to add to it, not consume from it, and add new, original and authentic truth to the world. And that comes from each of us finding out who we are and expressing that in the world through our creativity, through living our lives. Creativity is a process that connects us to a deeper and true core of ourselves and the part of ourselves beyond who we are physically. And that realization was opened up to me very early on as a young girl when I used to write songs and poems and books and music and things like that. Because when I first started to learn how to play the piano, I thought music came from the shop because my teacher would tell me what books I needed to go and get, and we'd go to the music shop and we'd buy the score and I'd bring it back there and we'd learn the score and I'd be playing a new tune. But over time, as I started to get confident with my own skills and start to play around, I started to then create something which was not on a book. I hadn't bought it from the shop. It was coming from my mind, but then coming from outside of my mind, some other aspect of myself, my imagination, my spirit, as I came to understand it. For me, at that point in time and to this very day, it remains to be just a magical aspect of being a creative person, to be able to see something and have a vision of something that's not yet realized in a tangible form, and then bring it forward by going into the imaginal world, going into your intuition, and that's available to all of us. Watch somebody as you just ask them to try and remember something, or even to just try and solve a puzzle, like, what are you going to eat later? It's like, the mind goes somewhere and you start to conjure up, and you may even start to taste what it is that you're going to have. This is the power of our imagination. This is the space that we can pull from, and it's there for us all. So the question is, to me, is like, where is it that we're going? Where is it that we're tapping into? Why have we allowed ourselves to believe that that space is not a real space when it clearly is? And the more that you're able to lean and pull from that and bring that forward, you'll realize how magical and how powerful it is, and how you're able to transform your world in so many different ways. You're able to envisage the potential that is possible for you, the potential that's possible for the world, by going into this space and playing around with it. It's so malleable. The rules of time and space and gravity and all the physical constraints that we have, the physical laws that we have, don't exist in the imagination. So you can really mold something in that space before you bring it forward. We're connecting deeply with our intuition. We're allowing ourselves to be informed by our experiences and our emotions. And I was glad that I put the emotions series in before, to allow us to understand the power of our emotions and feeling the whole range of emotions. And especially within that series, I was looking at the emotions that we tend to pull away from. So things like anger, grief, jealousy, envy, apathy. These emotions often we shy away from, but then we always want to communicate these emotions or feel into these emotions. That's why those love songs, those big ballads, the songs that talk about angst, the protest songs of anger resonate with people so much, because they're able to kind of experience their emotions almost in a safe space. But those songs would not exist if the artist, if the creator themselves did not use those emotions as fuel for the expression of their own creativity through an art, as it were. But also creativity can be other things, the way that you're expressing yourself. So when you're going into this imaginal world, you're envisaging a potential possibilities. And for some reason, we want to clip down on what's possible or what we think is crazy or not crazy. But that area of potential, that's all you. And it's for you to have the courage, to have the audacity to bring that through. Your experiences, as I mentioned, your emotions, all of these things are relevant. That's why we experience what we experience, to then turn them into art in the way that we express ourselves and express our lives. That non-physical aspect of ourselves, that's a spiritual area of ourselves. That's us bringing the new, formed, untried, untested, innovative into the world, into the 3D space. And this is why I will stand by my statement, creativity is spirituality. The way that we are educated in this world is people still only believe that the only intelligence is logical intelligence, things that can be tested. But we have these other levels of intelligence. That spiritual dimension of our lives is very real. Because we ignore it, because we're told not to daydream when we're at school, and we're even punished for having those wilder ideas, we kind of allow it to wither and die. And then when we do tap into that, we've got so much doubt around it because it's not being encouraged, because it's not being fostered over time. And by ignoring that aspect of ourselves, by ignoring our creativity, by not allowing ourselves to journey into the imaginal realms and see what's possible, we're not developing and we're ignoring an enormous part of ourselves. And I will posit that it adds to an existential angst, because we know that there's something more out there, but because we're not working with it, because we're not developing it, we're then not able to fully identify what what it is and then address it. But I believe that going into that realm and giving it the attention and playing around with it as it needs, that will actually bring in you a confidence and a level of safety. For me, my creativity has always been my security. Going into my creativity was a safe space. It was a never-ending companion, that imaginal world, somewhere that I could retreat to express myself when it wasn't possible to do so in the world, when it wasn't safe or secure to do so. It's helped me form my ideas and my confidence, and then being able to bring those things back out into the world and then see how they resonate with other people or not sometimes, but also to see how I've grown over the years. And then also how many of the things that were just mere ideas or just wisps of an idea, a whisper of something, have then become what they've become today. This podcast, Her Conversations, the brand, my music, everything came from the, what's this that's popping into my mind right now? And had I not have followed any of those things, I would not be here today. I would not be doing this. I'd be in a completely different situation. And who knows, would I be happy or not? I'm not sure. Opening up to your creativity and exploring and discovering your unique process and style of expression is the gateway to learning more and more about yourself. You discover the breadth of your curiosity, and maybe even you push the limits of your own curiosity, and you then dream and you see how much is possible for you. And the more that you're able to see what it creates for you, you become more playful, you become more committed, and then as a result, you become more disciplined, because then you realize how little you know and how much better you can be, and you want to attain mastery. You know, I'm talking about myself here. I want to attain mastery in all of the things that I want to do, but it requires me to keep showing up. And by going into this and always being the student, the eternal beginner, it keeps my mind and it keeps my curiosity malleable. It keeps you young-minded, because you're always looking for areas of expansion. And for me, I hold my creativity in high reverence in my life, because, as I mentioned before, I would not be here if it wasn't for me understanding the nature and the power of my own creativity. And then also, as a result, having the respect and the reverence for my own life, I have respect and reverence for other people who delve into their own creativity, because one, I know how difficult it is and how much resistance there is in this world against people who want to live a creative life. But this is the most important thing for us. And the more that we can allow ourselves to open into our own creativity, the beauty there will be in the world. I believe that. It's idealistic, I know, but that's creativity. We need to be delusional. We need to be creative. And yes, we need to work through things. The power of creativity, it gives you more understanding, more empathy, more softness, more love, whatever aspect of creativity you're talking about. And these similar qualities are the same things that are revealed to you when you go through your own personal growth, to your own spiritual awakening path. And you can then see the correlation between spirituality and creativity. And also, you know, to stay open in both counts, within your creativity and within your spirituality. You stay open for miracles. You stay open for the divine, for God to enter into. And if we allow it, our imagination will show us the unseen realms of our experience. And it's a place to formulate the new, and we recognize potential available everywhere. So I'm talking again about creativity, not just as the art forms, but creativity in your life, creativity in your world. What do you want for yourself? If you imagine it, how could it be? If you just allow your mind to go into that space, what world would you like to create? And why do you think it's not possible? What's really holding you back? Is it because you've not seen it out there before? Maybe you're the one to be the maverick. You know, and we're still so stifled by narrow-mindedness in the world that we live. And people are really kind of wedging themselves to ideologies that then get to the point where nobody dare question what it is that someone believes, and it's stifling our ability and our courage to see or suggest anything new. We're getting so overwhelmed by the manic pace of modern life. There's just such a storm of information that's coming at us that we'd never stay on top of things as well. So the easiest thing to do is to protect our minds by checking out and becoming passive from the overload. And sitting in this passivity, this apathy, is dulling our creative capacity. So in order to build up our creativity, we have to be intentional about creating space in our lives. We want to be able to hear ourselves, to reconnect and remember that we are creative, and our reason of being here is to create, to contemplate a greater meaning in life, to ponder the mysteries, and therefore create the fertile ground for solutions to emerge. So look at your life and the ways that you've been creative. Look at how you dress, how you decorate your home, how you solve problems, how you're able to look in the refrigerator and create a meal out of the random items that you have. All of these things are creativity. And whether you think what you do is aesthetically pleasing or not is a reflection of your expression. So if you don't care about what your environment says about you, or you think it does not matter, that's your expression. You're choosing to honour or dishonour yourself. So what we want to do is cultivate a creative mindset in everyday life, to be the artist, to be the muse, and to be the audience. You are the artist. So what mediums are you using to express your creativity in your life? Who are you? Who are you showing up to be? How deeply are you allowing yourself to look into who you are? You are the muse, and how are you allowing your experiences to shape the way that you interpret what it is that you're bringing forward, and how you're inspiring yourself to create your life? And you are the audience. Do you enjoy what you're being shown by yourself? Could it be better? Can you see where the artist has held back? Have you seen where the artist is being innovative? What are you learning about the artist? And I'm talking about you being the artist, you being the muse, you being the audience, and feeding all of this back to yourself. And why do I think this is important now that we discover and express our innate creativity? For the innovators, for the inventors, for the people who are looking in the future and seeing the way that our lives have been and are being shaped by technology, they're seeing that going forward, the people that will thrive are the ones who choose to be creative. The future of work and the ones who will thrive are the ones who embrace the creative economy. And while that may feel overwhelming to many, it's a freedom for many who are in a situation where they're not enjoying the work that they're doing. We can allow the balance between technology and allow technology to do the things that we don't really want to spend so much time doing, so that we can go into those our own imaginal spaces. We're not going to the places where we're allowing technology to think and shape for us, but maybe there's a way of balancing the two. And the way that we don't fall fully to the abyss of technology and allow it out and have it take us off into who knows where is by being in contact with our own creativity, with our own spirituality. And now we're at a pivotal, beautiful moment in time where things are changing. And we're at the beginning, so not many people see it, but I'm giving you a heads up. And you can be part of that. Think of the future, that you want to create. What kind of world do you want to see? What are the things out there that are just really not jiving with you anymore? And what can you do to make things better? Because it all starts with you. From Frida Kahlo, I am my own muse. I am the subject I know best, the subject I want to better. Thank you for joining me on this first episode of the Creativity series. Creativity is spirituality. Creativity and spirituality are my passions in the world. And I hope you truly enjoy where this journey of creativity will take you. If you want to find out more about me, look at my website. It's carolmaewhittick.com, carolmaewhittick.com. Find me on Facebook and on LinkedIn, Carol Mae Whittick, and on Instagram, Casmic, Cazmick. Until the next week, get creative. Speak soon.